We finally got our US spec Land Cruiser and it's pretty sweet, but for some of you out there, the 250 isn't what you want. You really want a global baddie that is the 300 series. You want a full-size Land Cruiser. Well, it appears that Lexus is prepared to build what you're asking for because a new member of the LX family is arriving for the 2025 model year. Yeah, it's still got the long face, but it also packs great power, more underbody protection, and a triple locker setup. The 2025 Lexus LX700 is equally ready to shuttle you to a fine dining establishment as it is to have you blasting up dusty trails and scrambling across rocky pathways onward to adventure. Normally, my move here is to talk exterior, then interior, then powertrain and the meat of it all. Forget that. We're going straight to the heart of this one. The LX700H is basically a bigger brother to the GX550 Overtrail. This marks the first time the LX gets a hybrid. It's the twin-turbo 3.4-liter V6, the 10-speed direct shift auto, and the hybrid system, which all work together to deliver 457 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. You get that same 10-speed already employed in the LX600, but that bump in power represents a 48 horsepower and 104 pound-foot jump in output between 600 and 700 models of this updated LX. Toyota hides the hybrid bits in the back where the battery lives in the space occupied by the cargo area or the third row, depending on if you get a 2 or 3 row setup. One neat aspect of this hybrid model is that it's the first Lexus hybrid to be equipped with both an alternator and a starter. The idea is that if you're ever out somewhere and the hybrid system becomes inoperative, the starter can still fire the engine and the alternator will keep the 12-volt system humming. This is especially important if you're somewhere far away from the beaten path, as those who like to adventure in their off-road ready Toyota and Lexus vehicles might be wont to do. Thus, we arrive at the introduction of an Overtrail trim for the LX. This is only offered on the LX700H, but you can spec it as a 2 or 3 row setup. You graduate from an LX with a center locking diff to one that adds on a rear and front locker. That's right, the triple locked Land Cruiser LX is back. Lexus also fits the Overtrail with 33-inch all-terrain tires on 18-inch wheels. It has a skid plate under the nose, darker exterior trim, and blacked out over fenders. This may just be the 300 series rig that hardcore Land Cruiser lovers have been asking Toyota and Lexus to build. And while I do truly love the size of the 250 series Land Cruiser and the GX550, this larger rig has tremendous appeal as well, before we take price into consideration, of course. While it doesn't seem to have EKDSS, at least it's not mentioned anywhere in the press release, the entire 2025 LX lineup does have active height control and adaptive dampers, the multi-terrain select system, multi-terrain monitoring system, crawl control, and downhill assist control. LX600 models get 120 volt, 100 watt power in the back, while the 700 Overtrail gets a 2400 watt inverter. Both powertrain versions can tow up to 8,000 pounds, and every model is fitted with the upper 12.3-inch center screen and the lower 7-inch center screen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, the head-up display, and the full suite of the Lexus Safety System Plus 3.0. Here's the rub though, at least for right now. The footage and images you're seeing aren't of the Overtrail. So far, Lexus has only released shots of the standard 600, the F Sport, and the Ultra Luxury. Here's to hoping the face and the rear bumper area of the LX700H Overtrail are cleaned up a bit for better off-roading angles, and I have to assume they will be. It's going to be expensive, it's going to be capable, and I have to imagine it's going to be pretty darn awesome.